Oh,
Okay, we're recording the Zoom meeting for DVMUG on Tuesday, July 21st, 3 p.m.
Welcome to
And
DVMUG,
take it
everybody.
away, Rick.
So welcome everybody to our Tuesday afternoon get together. Hope everybody's surviving. I don't see any masks here, but we don't need any, do we? We don't got to wear no stinking masks. I went to Sam's Club this morning though with my mask on, and got there at 7 o'clock this morning. And we had a dream. They have the neatest app on your phone. You fire up the app, and when you put something in your cart, you scan the item, it puts it into the list. When you're all done, you then slide pay now, and it puts the QR code on your phone. You bypass all lines, you bypass all cash registers, and as you go to the door, they take a picture of the QR code, and out the door you go.
Wow, that's impressive.
I'm impressed with that. That's really great. So anyway, it's been a very interesting week, and we've had a lot of updates, and we're going to talk about those a little later. But typically what we do is we start out with Q&A today. And we've got some questions that were posted on the BBS in the Zoom mail that nobody can see, but the admins. But here's one that says, when I send an email via my MacBook Pro, I will sometimes get a notice that the mail has quit unexpectedly. What do I do? Well, that's an interesting one, and I'm whoever sent that in, I'd like a few more details. What operating system are you using?
I'm using High Sierra. Is that what you want to know?
Ah, okay. So, and what Mac are you using?
MacBook Pro.
Do you
What
know
email address?
Pardon me?
what's
Using
your
Gmail, or what's your email address at? Gmail or what?
Gmail.
The easiest thing for you to do, and probably the only thing you can do that's not painful, is just go into System Preferences, into the internet accounts, and delete your Gmail. And then once it's gone, add it back again, and it'll re-download all your mail. Hopefully that'll work.
Oh, okay.
So when you delete an email account, because I want to delete my Yahoo and then reinstall it, can I do I lose everything I have? Can I still use the same password, the same?
Yes, no, you have to. You have to use the same password.
And the same name?
And
The same...
yeah, and temporarily, once you delete it and you go look at your mail, it'll all be gone. And when you add it back in, it'll re-download everything. If you have a lot of mail, it can take a very long time.
I don't have a lot.
Okay, then it won't take very long at all. But that's how you fix those accounts that are synchronized with IMAP. It's very easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to System Preference.
What if you have saved mail on your Mac? Will you lose
Yeah,
any of
if it's a
that?
pop account, you will lose everything.
Yeah, that won't work.
It
And you don't
has
want to be
an
using
IMAP.
you don't want to be
I'm not
using POP
POP.
anyway.
Not using POP, but I save a lot of mail to my Mac.
If you save mail to on your Mac, that'll still be there. That won't disappear when you delete your account.
You promise.
Somebody has a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
Somebody,
Yeah.
TV on or something. Mute everybody. Okay, continue.
Okay,
go.
I have one question for you, John, please. Since I do have Gmail, when last I talked to you, and I think it was at the office itself, you and Ann had put me on iCloud or on Cloud or something, so it was my email address at the cloud.
That's a separate thing that you get. That's a free address at Apple at iCloud.com, and that's a secondary email address. That's good to have because that would be, hopefully you set that as your recovery address for Gmail. So if you needed to reset your password, they would send the reset notice to that. You don't have to use it. It's just something that you have that's like a back door.
It's necessary in order to turn on mail in iCloud. You must create an iCloud email address if you don't already have one.
I
So
think
that-
I did, but I don't use it.
Yeah, so just you can ignore it unless, you, like John said, you use it as a recovery email to, secondary validation to recover your Gmail.
Okay, so in essence, if I go to Systems Preference and then the Internet account, delete Gmail, and then,
Yep.
and
Once
how
it's
do I
gone,
bring
And
it
then-
back up?
Then click the plus down at the bottom left and add the Gmail back. Select the Gmail, Google, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says Google.
That, and then just put in your name and your password. And I think that's about all you're going to
It'll
need.
all come back down.
Okay, and another thing that happened to me too is that when this all started, when I turn on my computer in the morning, I do not get my current mail. Everything has stopped from the day before. And I don't even know how, later on it'll come up after I've done some things that are, I don't even know what I do, but it stopped bringing my current mail in.
Well, it doesn't get your mail while your computer's off. You have to wait for the
Oh,
new mail
she's-
to come in.
She's talking about login items, and I think she probably had mails automatically start when she'd start the computer. And
Yeah.
somehow or other that became, that got disconnected. So it's no longer a login. You have to turn on your mail manually, right?
I don't think so. I just click on
No,
the,
I mean now, since you're not getting mail to come up automatically, you have to go down and click on the little icon of the mail application, correct?
right.
Yeah. So you can go into system preferences and users and groups, and you'll have to have your password for this, and go to login items and be sure that mail is there.
And
Now
if
I
not?
don't like a lot of things to start up automatically
I
on my
don't like that. I don't recommend that. It's just something
Yeah.
you're trying to troubleshoot and you restart and your mail's starting. Is just don't
It
do that.
creates some problems.
So it's automatically that
Oh.
way. How do I not do that then?
Oh, that's okay.
Well, apparently it's not doing it now, so you're probably clean and green. You're probably okay.
Okay,
Just to check your mail, go down to your dock and click on the stamp icon,
mm-hmm,
and then it'll come up and you can leave it running all day. But yeah, it's not a great idea to have it start up automatically.
oh, well, I guess it always has, because I've never had to push on that. So
Right.
whenever I got it, that's what they did.
Right.
I'm curious as to why you're still in High Sierra. Is that
I don't know. I just went on the little Apple and it said I was in High Sierra version 10.13.6.
Okay. And you cannot update your Mac?
I wouldn't know how.
On the when you go to about this Mac, what Mac does it say it is? Early 2010 or late 2015 or whatever? What does it say?
It says mid 2015.
Okay, you can go to Mojave, no problem. You can go to Catalina, but you have to check to see if you have 64-bit apps you're going to lose. Use any Adobe products or Microsoft products?
John, you're speaking Greek to me.
You do Photoshop? Do you pay Adobe $50 a month for Photoshop?
No.
Okay.
Do you use any software on your computer that didn't come with it from Apple?
No.
Then you can probably upgrade.
Yeah, I'd recommend you upgrade.
And so because I don't understand how to do that, how do I do that?
Go to the
Go to
app.
the App Store and up at the top it'll say upgrade to Catalina, push install.
Yeah, but that's dangerous for her if she definitely doesn't have any other apps that are not 64-bit.
That was what her answer was.
Her answer was
Okay.
she only uses stuff that came with Apple.
Okay. How come she doesn't get notices like I do every day?
Yeah, I do.
to
I get
avoid
noticed
updating?
too. Yeah.
I don't know. I never get a notice.
You're
But
probably on Mojave.
the minute I hear there's an update, I go for it.
So do I.
Okay.
And are you running Mojave?
I don't think, I don't know.
No, I'm
No,
talking to Janet.
Oh, me, yes, I'm still on Mojave because I
Oh,
have
the other
some.
one.
If you're on Mojave,
Yeah.
you'll get the nag to upgrade to Catalina.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah,
Oh,
you get that every time you go to. There'll always be,
So-
when you pull down the Apple menu, you'll always see one update in system preferences.
So Catalina's where we should be?
So you shouldn't think about updating until you convinced that your mail problem is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't upgrade to trying to fix something. It may make it worse.
One more question, Jan.
Tried a simple update of her computer, restart on her computer.
Yeah, when's the last time you restarted your computer?
Well, apparently she starts it every morning, she says.
Yeah, I
You-
usually, I turn it off at night and I turn it on in the morning.
And you see the Apple logo in the progress bar when you do that in the morning?
The little line that goes across the bottom.
No, I don't notice it.
Are you just shutting the lid?
No, I'm going to shut down.
Okay, if you're shutting down and you start
Yeah.
it up, you should see a big Apple logo and a progress bar that goes across. It takes from 20 seconds to 2 minutes.
Nope.
Then you
Jan-
weren't shutting down.
Jan, let me make a suggestion for you.
Okay.
Next time you start up after you shut it down completely, when you hear the bong, hold the shift key until you see the Apple logo. Let it finish booting up, wait about 1 minute, and do a normal restart.
Mhm.
Okay, what I think you're doing is you go to shut down and then you just close the lid immediately.
Not normally. I usually wait until it's, well, yeah, sometimes the keyboard is still lit and I close the top.
Then it's not, you're not shutting down, you're putting it to sleep.
Right.
Oh, well, that kind of sucks.
So you should shut the computer, leave the screen open and do shutdown and walk away till the keyboard goes black. Don't
Okay.
even shut and then when you restart or shut down, you should see an Apple logo that's, big on the screen with a progress bar. Depending on your computer, if it's fast, it'll be 15 to 20 seconds. If it's slow, it can be 2 to 2.5 minutes. That's a restart or a start
see,
from
I
scratch.
don't think I've ever seen that.
So don't worry about your mail. You need to do that first before you do anything to see if
do
it fixes
anything
your
else.
mail.
Yeah.
I thought you said not to shut it down every night. I
She
thought
has
that
a problem. She's trying to try to fix the problem.
Okay, but
Whenever there's a problem, people call me on the phone all the time. I said, go to the Apple menu, restart, I'll wait.
But
And all of a sudden, it just works.
yeah, I've done it on your recommendation. It does work. But didn't you recommend, if you're not having a problem, not to shut down every night?
You don't need to do that if you're not having
Right.
a problem. You can
That's
sleep
what
it.
I thought.
Right.
I thought you said it was better for the computer not to do that.
Well, you should do it periodically. to clean up the
Periodically,
memory.
yes, I understand that, yes. But not every day.
You
You
have
don't need to do it every day.
No, I
No.
So
don't.
do you just put
I
it to
used to,
sleep?
I don't
Yeah,
anymore.
Let it go to sleep. Let it go to sleep on its own. Let it do whatever it needs to do.
Interesting.
So isn't the latest update Catalina?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have a regular hard disk, Jan? Or do you have a Fusion drive in your Mac? Or is
You know,
it
you
solid
do.
state?
It's a 2015 MacBook Pro, so it's
All
probably
solid
solid state.
So it should
It
work.
may be. It may be an SSD. A
I have no
2015
idea what
Pro,
you're
I think,
talking
does
about.
have an
I was
SSD.
brain dead for a minute.
I'm brain
This
dead
is-
24/7.
This is what a startup
woke it up.
screen should
Yeah,
basically look like. It's that.
that's a
Oh,
start.
okay,
That's
thank you. I don't
that's a
remember seeing that.
restart, or if you shut down and you start from scratch, that's what you see.
Okay,
Interesting.
I think we beat that one to death.
Yes, definitely.
So the second question we have, and we're going to talk about this toward the end of the meeting too. After installing Catalina, when I open Dictionary, it crashes. I've spoken to Apple and they tried, yet it still crashes. So I have I have a nice slide prepared, but it's a hassle to share the screen. So you can go to Apple support and you get some information about that. But I think that was an anomaly because that member also wrote me back and said, Apple solved it for me. So I think that's just an anomaly.
But he didn't
He didn't
He
say
didn't
what
say
they
what
did.
it did was not helpful. He didn't tell us what they did to solve it.
Yeah, right. So, but generally, if my advice, if that were to happen after you update your operating system, would be to go back in and reinstall that system because the dictionary is a part of the operating system, and it may not have gotten installed properly. Now, there may be some other reasons why that got why that happened, but I think that that was probably some of the issue. So here's another one. Apple is paying $25 to iPhone 6, 7, and SE users. I looked up my serial number and I'm probably eligible. What else do I need? Well, you probably got an email that looked phony but is real.
Okay, that
Yep.
was my question.
And
Okay.
when you respond to it, you can put in your Apple ID and it will, as it did for me, it went out and it found my no longer existing iPhone 6 serial number. And so under penalty of perjury, I told them that, yes, I did suffer a slowdown as a result of them, which I don't remember if I did or not, but my best recollection, which I think is okay in court. And affirmatively answered the other question that I was using it, I think, at the time. And so apparently I'm going to someday get 25 bucks while the lawyers probably get 75 for each one
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Good
So-
for the
Yeah, all I think they want is the serial number, and if you don't know it, you log into your Apple ID and they have a record of what you bought.
Yes.
Some way they need to know that they didn't already pay somebody else for this phone. That's it. And where to send the check.
So the email is legitimate. That was my
Yes,
question.
absolutely.
Okay, good.
It was in the MailChimp Sunday about this story. You can read about it.
It's legit. Okay, so I don't have any other questions, but I'm sure you've got more somewhere out there.
I wonder how Anne is liking her iPad Pro.
I wanted to ask that.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's pretty zip, and the battery life is way better. I'm totally impressed with the battery life.
Ken, I suggested that you look at the first generation iPad Pro. I have one and I am constantly knocked out with it. It's very, very peppy. When I go to bed at night and I put it on the charger, it's usually about 60 to 70% available. And I'll sit while we're watching TV at night, I'll sit and have that thing going. I'll be reading the mail or news articles. I'm running the thing for hours every day. And I just love the thing.
I have one
Okay,
too.
since
I've had
this,
some- I've had
since
some
the last
charging-
time I charged this, yesterday morning, I've watched probably 6 hours of Netflix because I stayed up late binging last night, and it is currently at 79%.
Yeah, that's great.
I have the first generation like Rick has, and it is fast, but I've had some charging problems with the 12-watt charger. I get intermittent not charging. I put the 18-watt charger on, it works fine. My guess is just production tolerances.
Maybe. I don't have any problem with any charger that I put mine on. Mine that is sitting right next to my MacBook Pro right now is plugged into a power strip that has USB outputs at 2.4 amps. And I can use, I use several of those in the house, and then I have the original power supply that came with it. I have no charging problems with it at all.
Kenji, the other thing about this, I thought I was really gonna miss the home button, and more or less, the only time I miss it at the moment is when I'm trying to swipe. The way you have to swipe up to quit apps is a little non-functional. I haven't gotten the muscle memory quite right yet. It takes me several tries, but otherwise it's good.
I thought I was going to miss the home button on my iPhone 11. And not only do I not miss it, but I find when I pick up my iPad 3 that it seems so clumsy and to have to press the home screen, the home button.
That's funny.
Yeah, Rick, I actually, after I saw your reply on that, went and did a quick search online to see what those first generation iPad Pros were going for. Yeah. And I didn't do a real deep dive on it, but on first glance, it looked like they weren't that much cheaper than buying the current fourth generation ones.
Did you check B&H?
No.
Yeah, I sort of look at B&H as the end all, do all, end all.
I thought I read somewhere that Apple was having a sale. They're very unusual for Apple to have a sale, but they were. And I think the MacBook Pro was included in that.
So iPad Pro is what he's looking at.
Oh, iPad. I meant the iPad. It's not on sale?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Maybe on the old one they might be trying to get rid of the old stock.
Right.
But I don't think you're going to see the new one discounted.
Okay.
But
I had my order ready to go, including Magic Keyboard and pencil, and my finger was poised over the button and.
Uh-oh. I think you pushed the wrong button, Ken.
Me?
No, Ken, you.
Ken just dropped out.
Oh.
We just
Had
walked
his
in.
finger poised somewhere else.
He'll figure it out. He's a smart guy.
That was a real cliffhanger right there, boy.
Yeah.
I have another stupid question, Rick.
Great.
Okay.
Bring
I've
it
got
on.
so many of them. Is it good to keep the MacBook Pro plugged into your whatever that thing is that you were talking
Power
about?
supply?
Power supply all the time?
Well, there's a couple of schools of thought on that. One of them is that it's not good. On the other hand, I do that too. And I unplug it when I go somewhere. So I've read
There's a whole discussion on this. I think it was in the MailChimp this Sunday, or it's going to be next week, about really you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to let it discharge and keep it between 20 and 80%. That those, like the Teslas, like you're not supposed to charge them up all the way down and run. They best run if you let them in the middle.
Yeah, with this new battery modification to the system preferences on these machines, that I've read that too, and it's probably true.
They say it shortens the battery life.
Yeah.
To keep it charged all the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt to run it down to about 20%, and then plug it in, and then run it down to about 20% again.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I leave these two right here I'm working on plugged in 24/7 on. It's like all never, unless I plug them into something else, they're always plugged in.
Hey guys, sorry, I got my phone rang and I think it knocked me out of the meeting.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Do we have to make you co-host again?
Make the Mac co-host. Kenji's Mac.
Yeah, I'm looking. There's a lot of people in here.
Kenji's Mac.
I'm looking. Okay. Got it.
Anyway, I think I got most of the answer to that question from you guys. Sorry.
All right.
Okay, good, good. Well, shall we move over to the presentation, to the keynote? Or
Sure.
want to just keep talking?
No.
No, I think you should move over.
Yes. Please
Uh,
begin.
Yeah, let's go down here and share screen. Oh, somebody disabled my, oh, I'm not a host.
Oh, I never made you co-host.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think Howard's got a question.
Yeah, right, I did.
Okay,
The
go for
question
it.
was about, am I on?
Yeah,
The question was about getting on Silicon Valley Mug yesterday. I couldn't do it. I tried many times. And I did download the operating system and everything else, and I couldn't get on. Anybody else have that experience yesterday?
Did you ask them for an invite?
Yes, I did. I never got an answer.
Well, that's why it didn't
I
work.
was able to get on. It was the first time I used WebEx. I like Zoom better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you can get on unless they approve your invitation and send you
requested
something back. Is that right, Kenji?
That is right. They have it set up where they're, I guess, built into WebEx. There's a security option where they give you they send you we have to register, and then they send you back a link.
Yeah, if you don't get the link back, then you got nothing to log into. It doesn't
That's what
work.
happened yesterday. I sent it on Sunday and didn't get anything back by last night.
So you emailed
you
Robert.
waited too long to do it.
I followed their instructions on their that Kenji had given us last week.
They didn't
I
approve
followed
you.
those instructions and it didn't work.
Most of these operations are volunteer, so if you wait till the last minute, they may just not be able to get to your request. So
Possible, yeah.
maybe put it in on a Thursday or as soon as you see it, and give them a chance to respond.
Are they, Kenji? Are they posting those on YouTube or anywhere where you can watch them?
They do. It's they post to YouTube on svmug.org.
Okay, I think I watched one of them, and I thought my conclusion is I didn't like WebEx.
Oh, I've tried desperately to talk them into trying Zoom, because WebEx is not nearly as nice. But one of the
More secure.
One of the central members is a Apple employee, and he works on Monday nights. So, and Apple doesn't want Zoom on their network.
That would be Charles.
That would be Charles. And also the rest of the planning committee is there. They have strong anti-Zoom feelings. So, but I think I'm going to make one more polite attempt to see if I can persuade them to give it a try.
You can tell them that the Apple User Group University, which has been doing meetings once a month for the last 2 or 3 months, they're using Zoom. And most of the people that are in there that are running the other user groups also said that they're using Zoom too.
You can tell Linda I was dragged into Zoom kicking and screaming, and now I'm a reformed Zoom participant.
Can I suggest that
you
can I suggest that you tell Linda that?
I could probably email her and tell her she can call me if she has questions about it.
WebEx has a couple of features, but I found it rudimentary compared to Zoom.
It doesn't have dark mode. Am I muted? No, I'm not. It doesn't have dark mode. You can't hide the non-video participants. So this screen would be half empty white boxes for everybody who's logged in that's not on video. And there's no push to talk features. There's no push to talk features, so it makes muting and unmuting
Well,
more
that doesn't,
difficult.
that's not good.
There's also no virtual background on the Mac. There is on the iPhone or iPad, but not on the Mac.
I'm so totally torn between the annoying pixelation around your head with the virtual background and the
I
fact
like
that you
it.
guys are all looking at my messy bed. I mean, I don't know.
I don't like the
Yeah,
virtual
there's-
background.
There is still a concern regarding security as far as Zoom is concerned.
Really? The virtual background is not good for security. Yeah, I don't like
No,
it.
no, no. Just WebEx as opposed to Zoom.
Sorry.
Well, I don't think I agree with them. I'm very pleased with Zoom. I was very skeptical at first, but you'll probably notice that every time you use Zoom, there's another update. They seem to be working diligently to overcome whatever problems they discover.
Well, hopefully they'll discover our login problem.
Yeah, that's, I
Second
don't
week
know what
in
I'm
a
gonna do
row,
about
and
that.
the link was bad.
And I know that it conforms with HIPAA because we met with a physician yesterday by Zoom and it worked beautifully.
It's only HIPAA compliant if you use a secure server to send the link. They have a special second tier for HIPAA compliancy.
Yeah, well, at least they do. And if you
Yeah.
want to use that, you can. I'm just tickled to death with it. And I don't think we're going to be discussing any nuclear secrets or anything at this meeting. So I'm very confident that we're fine.
I agree.
County agencies are using Zoom.
Pardon me?
County agencies that are HIPAA compliant are using Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I had a video appointment with a doctor at UCSF and on Zoom. That's what they're using.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Okay.
Kenji, you know your video's off?
no, I didn't. Okay, there it is.
Oh, turn it back off.
I'm almost ready.
Well, it's fine. It's fine, except when you speak, there's just a big black screen that says Kenji.
I'm almost ready for COVID haircut number 2. I did my first one with my beard trimmer and zapped it right down to the scalp, and now it's almost time to do it a second time.
Yeah, I'm ready for I'm going to give myself a haircut.
It looks like Don got a haircut, but he kept the beard. Is that right, Don? Don's still
Basically.
here? That's
All right, shall we get to the keynote and then we can chat later?
Here we go. I'm still disabled.
really? I thought I made you admin. Hold on. It didn't work. Make co-host.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Try it again. There we go. And sharing computer sound. What about this optimized screen share for video clip? Do I want that
I don't know
on?
what that is. Don't experiment with it now.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
You ever try to watch these on YouTube? They look okay.
Yeah, I did, as a matter of fact.
It looks fine.
Okay. Danger, Will Robinson. Emotet is back. Have you got audio? I'm getting a notice that my sound output changed. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Oh, gosh. Now what? Now I lost the,
It went to white screen.
yeah.
Now
We're
it's back.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Okay, so anyway, Emotet or Emotet is back. It's a Trojan that is designed to steal data and especially banking data. And every computer that it gets on becomes a broadcaster of that information, and it just spews out emails that appear to come from trusted sources. So again, this is not a great danger to the Mac user who doesn't click things that they don't understand or know, because it's very important you just don't do that. As with so much malware for the Mac, you have to put it in yourself. It doesn't automatically get installed. So unless you absolutely know what it is, don't click on it. If you did click on it, here's what can happen. It can infect your machine and then reach out to infect everybody else that is a correspondent with you. And it can use what the programmers will call brute force to extract data, report home, and use a machine to spew forth more bad emails that are infected for the next victim. So this is apparently running rampant again. And it's one of those things that is very, very difficult to get rid of.
So Rick, you're talking about,
not necessarily on your machine, but to get rid of it in the computing world. Yeah, you go ahead, Kenji.
you're talking about don't click links in emails. Is that right?
You betcha. Be absolutely sure what there is before you click it. Okay? So next.
Can you, but just clicking on a website doesn't let this in, right?
It could be a link in an email. You could get something that says it's from Apple, and it says click this link to verify that you're who you are, and it might be fake. So always be sure and look at the address. Click on the little caret to the right of the address to be sure that it's from who they say they are. Okay. Now, I've seen a lot of people who will have a yellow sticky or a piece of tape taped over their camera on their MacBook Pro. Well, Apple has announced that doing that can cause damage to your screen when you shut the lid. So it may just be time to rely on that little green light and make sure the green light's off. The other day, I noticed that the green light on my iMac went on suddenly, and I had forgotten that I had tested earlier with an app on my machine that turned the camera on, and I had forgotten to turn it off. So as long
I think what they're saying is the thickness of it. So sometimes you can buy these little things you snap on that have a sliding cover over it, so you can turn it on and off, and those have some thickness to it. And if you shut the screen with that, that's too thick and it'll press on the screen, could crack your screen. Anything as thin as a piece of paper, like a piece of tape, would probably be okay. But it's these commercial things you buy, these plastic things that are too thick, I believe.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, a word to the wise. There were new updates last week. We updated macOS to 10.15.6, and I suspect, or I shouldn't say I suspect, where I read this information, they prognosticated that this may well be the final touch for Catalina before Big Sur comes out. There are some underneath the hood things that took place that are important, but there are some things that you're going to see. You're going to see your Today feed in Apple News is more localized, at least for San Francisco, Los Angeles, Houston, and New York City. And if that is if you want to pay for a subscription to Apple News. The daily newsletter allows you to personalize stories that reflect your interests. And there's a new option to optimize video streaming on HDR compatible Mac notebooks to improve battery life. And I have to confess, I have not investigated that, and I don't have a clue as to what they're talking about there. Because I don't usually watch videos on this machine. Has anybody else had any experience with this? No? Okay. And of course, bug fixes.
It takes a very long time to install the security up. There was also security updates for probably the last ones for High Sierra and Mojave. It takes 45 minutes to install the High Sierra security update.
Yeah, well, it took a long time for this one to install on both of my Macs too.
Yeah.
And they warned you that it's going to shut off and start up and shut off and start up several times, and it did.
And it also, I believe it came with a new Safari also. So you get the latest Safari in High Sierra, same as in Catalina.
Yeah, but I haven't noticed any difference in Safari's behavior or appearance. On iOS 13.6, iPad OS 13.6, and iWatchOS 6.2, and I guess the Apple TV came out with an update too, and I have to confess I don't know anything about that one. But
Yep,
if you've
Apple
got
TV, Apple TV is a new version. I got to tell you, these new updates for the Apple TV are not fixing it for me. It's buggy as heck. The apps don't work. They freeze. You have to restart the thing. I don't know what's going on.
That's too bad. Who else has Apple TV? Chris Wysocki. Chris, are you experiencing any problems?
Is Chris even here?
I saw him.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you have problems with Apple TV?
No,
You have to restart. I have to reboot the thing all the time because the apps freeze.
Yeah, I've been having trouble with my Apple TV. PBS app wasn't working worth a hoot.
Yeah, sometimes I've had to uninstall the app and reinstall it. Sometimes it's really goofy. I open something up that has a live stream available. It will start streaming the live stream and it won't stop even though you go and start streaming something else. There's two things streaming at the same time. It's nuts.
Well, mine kept stopping the streaming, and I'd have to try to restart it.
Battery life got worse on iPhone 6s with this update.
I was hoping some of these updates would fix these problems, but it doesn't seem to be doing it.
It made it worse.
Yeah.
That's too bad. But there's good news. When your 2021 BMW is delivered, the car key feature will be enabled on your phone. And you can even have someone else access your car by giving them permission to use their phone to start your car. Isn't that great? There's new toggle controls that allow you to adjust installation of software updates. I've noticed that there's one that says download, and then there's another one that says okay to install. So you can download it and then choose to install later. And that's nice, especially if you want to download it when you're on a good Wi-Fi connection and then install it later when you're on a crummy Wi-Fi connection and are not using the device. Apple News Plus audio feature is also added in the Apple News Plus, which provides an audio version of the news. Well, I don't subscribe to the Apple News, so I haven't benefited from that. But for those of you who do, you can now have the news read to you. And the Health Kit now offers new data types available to track symptoms of headaches, chills, sore throats, and that should sound familiar to us all, and more health problems. There are new memojis and bug fixes. I'm sorry, I misspelled memoji. And the phones all the way back to the first generation SE will accept this update. And also the 7th generation iPod Touch will take the updates. Now, Foxconn, there's been a lot of talk about the strangled supply line from China for new phones and so forth. And of course, the Foxconn factory that's being built in, I don't remember if it was Wisconsin or Minnesota, that was going to hire all those thousands of people. I think that the factory was built, but it's empty. But Foxconn, who's based in Taiwan, is moving away from China, apparently. They've got new plants in both countries of India and Vietnam. And Foxconn predicts that that those two countries are going to become the regional manufacturing hub for Southeast Asia. And it's also reported in the rumors that I've read that they're probably or possibly building a new 5G phone there. Apple downplays all this news, but you know, Apple is just really dependent on good, consistent supply lines. So while they may downplay the news, I think that such an expansion, if brought to reality, could ensure continuous supply lines without political interference. And it looks like China is, and you know, China's in trouble right now, and they probably just can't deliver. So I read this the other day, and I think there's no hookup, no catch to this. The Swiss company Proton View, who has a paid mail service that is highly reputable, offers a free VPN that covers 50 countries and 898 servers and a capacity of 1,051 gigs. You can check it out at protonvpn.com. But now, as I understand it, this VPN connection will not allow you to connect with all of their servers. And it is at what they call medium speed, and I don't know what that speed is. But no logs, no ads, and it is free. They say that they will throttle in periods of high usage. But I would think, since they're a European company, that their hours of high usage would probably not coincide with our hours of high usage. So if you want to check out something for free that is reputable, check out protonvpn.com. This slide will appear in the keynote that we post to the bulletin board. I learned some stuff from this one about the dictionary that's just amazing. And the URL here is what's going to appear in the keynote that you're going to see on the BBS, but I've embedded the video so that we can watch it now. And you'll find this very interesting, I think. Play.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Today, let's take a look at the Mac Dictionary app. MacMost is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 700 supporters. Go to macmost.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So when it comes to the dictionary app on your Mac, there are some users that don't know it's there and others that take it for granted. It has a lot of different functionality. Let's launch it by using Spotlight. I'm going to do Command Space and search for dictionary. Just the first couple letters is all I need, and I can launch it that way. I can use Launchpad. I could drag it to the left side of the dock to make it a little more easily accessible if I want to. Now the basics are pretty simple. To look up a word, you just type it here in the search field at the top, and then you get a definition. Now you should see here a list of dictionaries that you have enabled. So you have the regular dictionary, which will give you a definition. You'll probably see some others here as well. Of the particular use is the thesaurus or synonym finder. So you could search for a word and then go to that and then get different synonyms for it. Now whether you're looking at dictionary definitions or in the thesaurus, you can click on most things in here. So if you see a word, you can click on it and it will go to the entry for that. You can switch between dictionaries and keep the same word. Now what about these other dictionaries here? You may see Apple and Wikipedia. Apple is particularly useful if you want to look up a tech term. So you can look it up in the dictionary, but clicking on Apple will give you a definition from a custom Apple dictionary. It's very useful for looking up things that have to do with Apple computers and devices. So for instance, if you hear some term and you're not sure what it is, you can look it up here and find out that definition according to Apple. Now Wikipedia is really useful because this can search the entire Wikipedia site. So instead of going to wikipedia.org to search Wikipedia, you can do it right here in the dictionary app. It's actually pulling these definitions live from Wikipedia. So you're getting the most up-to-date versions, not something stored on your computer. So you can view more than one dictionary source at a time by selecting all. Then you're going to see things like dictionary, thesaurus, Wikipedia, and anything you've got here. It's all just going to be in a big list. Now you can set which dictionaries you've got by going to Dictionary Preferences, which is basically just a big list of dictionaries. You're going to have a lot of these that come installed on your Mac, and the one that you have selected at the beginning depends on your country. So here in the US I've got the new Oxford American Dictionary for American English, but there are other ones that are available as well. Notice that when I select some of these there are options. For instance, I can choose the type of pronunciation marks shown in the definition here for the American Dictionary. For Wikipedia I can select language, but most of these will just simply have copyright information there. If you want to add another dictionary you can just select it and you can see it gets added here. Here's now that dictionary as well. The order here is important. You can drag and drop any one of these to change the order. So now I've switched Wikipedia and Apple. When you select all, you're going to get them in the order that they appear here. So put your most important source first. So let's look at some more functionality here in the app window. You can change the font size. If it's too small for you to read, you can make it larger, and you can also make it smaller. There's also forward and backward buttons just like in a web browser, so you can go back to the previous definition after exploring a new one. You also can open up links in new tabs or windows. So for instance, I can control click here and you can see I could select look up in new tab or window. So new tab give you a tab just like browser tabs or tabs in any other app, or I could control click and select new window and you can have multiple dictionary windows open. You control these tabs just like tabs in any other app. So I can move them around, I can close them, and I can even go to File and start a new window or new tab without actually clicking on another word. I also have a plus button here to open up even more tabs. Now if you don't understand these cryptic little pronunciation guides here, you also can have your Mac speak the word to you. Now you'd think since it's a computer generated voice and all that it might mispronounce some things, but it's actually pretty good. I looked up some of the most commonly mispronounced words and it gets them right. So in order to have it pronounce something you can't really click here because it breaks it up into syllables. But usually you could find the word somewhere here in the definition or in an example phrase or something. Control click on it, choose speech and start speaking.
Covered.
And as you can see it actually pronounced that one right. This one it gets right as well.
Epitome.
And even this one.
Imprimatur.
So it looks like the pronunciations can be pretty trusted. Now there's several other ways to access the dictionary without even opening the dictionary app. One is to simply look up a word. So you can select a word and then control click on it and select look up. And you're going to get this window that gives you the dictionary definition. This is from the dictionary app, but it appears in a separate window. You can click on links here at the bottom to open this up in the dictionary app. You can even switch dictionaries here at the bottom. Now you can also use a keyboard shortcut, Control, Command, and D with your cursor hovering over something. It doesn't need to be selected. And that will also bring up the same thing. There's a further keyboard shortcut. If you go into System Preferences and then go to Keyboard, Shortcuts, you look under Services and then you look at the category called Searching. There's Lookup in Dictionary and you can add a shortcut. Let's add Control, Option, Command, and D as a shortcut for this. Now when I select a word I can try to use this. It also appears under the Application menu, Services, Searching. This will actually go right into the dictionary app. So it's different than the standard lookup shortcut which opens up that special window. Now you can also use Spotlight to look up words. So Command Space to bring up Spotlight. Now you can just use the word and it should look it up, give you a definition here, and you can see this is the definition from the dictionary app. If you double click on it here it will actually open up the dictionary app right to that word. Now one problem with using dictionaries to figure out how words are spelled is that sometimes you can't look it up because you don't know how the word's spelled, right? So you can use Siri for this. So just ask Siri and it will give you a dictionary definition. Siri, how do you spell phlegm?
Phlegm. P-H-L-E-M. E.
So you can see there, I can get a definition by just speaking the word. Unfortunately, that doesn't link to the dictionary, even though the data is obviously taken from the dictionary. So a few other tips here. If you remember when we had actual physical dictionaries, you'd also remember that at the beginning of the dictionary and the end of the dictionary, there was all this additional information, things about languages and history and all sorts of things. You actually have that with some of the dictionaries here. So here I have the dictionary selected. I'm using the new Oxford American Dictionary. If I do go, front matter, back matter, it actually takes me to a list of all of this information from that dictionary. So I can jump to things like the key to pronunciations, for instance, or the history of English. Not all dictionaries are going to have this, so you're not going to be able to see this for everything here. Now, if you want to add more dictionaries to the list here, you can. It will use any standard dictionary file. They're also known as .dict files or sometimes .dictionary files. And you can actually find them online and add them. Now they're kind of difficult to find, and sometimes you find ones that just don't work because there are other formats as well that call themselves dictionary formats. But if you do find one, the way to add it is to go to File and then Open Dictionaries folder. And this will open up the Home folder, Library, Dictionaries folder. And you can add new dictionaries in here. So for instance here I've got one that translates from English to Esperanto. Now I'm going to quit the dictionary app and run it again. And now when I go to Preferences, I should be able to find that in here. And there it is all the way at the bottom. I'll select that and now you can see it in here. So now I can look up a word and go to this translation dictionary and get a translation there. A lot of the dictionaries that you get by default here are actually translation dictionaries. And one last tip I want to show you, though I won't demonstrate it, is if you go to System Preferences, Screen Time, and then you go to Content and Privacy, and you turn on Content and Privacy Restrictions, there is an option here for explicit language in Siri and Dictionary. So that'll eliminate some words from the dictionary that are considered explicit, cleaning your dictionary up a bit.
So, once again, Gary comes up with some amazing stuff. I've used the dictionary before and the thesaurus, but I didn't realize that it had so many features. And I was a little bit surprised at words like snollygaster and widdershins. I'd never seen those words before, and they're real. So that's what we have. What do you have?
That is extremely cool. And there's always search. There's always look up using Google for figuring out how to spell something, because Google's amazingly good at figuring out wildly misspelled words.
Yeah, I wish Google's ability to spell would transfer over to my, that they would sell that to Amazon to use the Echo, because the Echo misunderstands so many things that are said to it. They should license that from Google, but I don't think they ever will, since they're kind of not allied.
Yeah, Rick, the dictionary that Gary was talking about, was that in what version of the operating system is that?
It's in every version of the macOS that ever existed as a dictionary app.
Yep.
Okay, so it's not an upgraded version then. It's already there.
It may be changed over time, but it's always been there.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to check it out.
Dan Chesney, you have a question.
Well, first thing is a comment. I've been using the dictionary for years when I write email, and I think there's a better word for that. And I'll do, highlight one word and command, use right click and look at the thesaurus and find another word, or find if my word is the better word. And it's very handy that way.
Yeah.
But let's see, what was I, goodness, I can't remember what my question was. I'll come back with it.
All right.
Rick, have you tried Translate, like Google Translate in the dictionary?
I haven't tried it in the dictionary, but I use Google Translate on my phone all the time. when I'm reading an article in the paper and there's something going on like a Chinese demonstration, I want to know what the placard is that they're carrying. And so I scan it and it'll translate that for me. It's pretty good at that. But I've used the translation and I've demonstrated that in a couple of classes that I've got in Chrome. If you want to read a foreign newspaper and you're in Chrome, it'll say this is in Ukrainian. Do you want to translate it into, and you choose your language of choice. Some of my compatriots at the senior center have seen me do this, that you could take a Ukrainian newspaper and translate it into Urdu or English or whatever you want it to do. And it's almost instantaneous. It's really quite nice.
Okay, I remembered what I was going to. Is there a way to spell for Siri when she doesn't understand the word correctly?
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, but she doesn't always get it.
Yeah.
She's not perfect at this point. It would be a nice feature. Maybe we can hope that in Big Sur that feature will be implemented.
Should have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Alexa seems so much better at voice recognition than Siri, at least for me.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Siri's not sure.
Right. Yeah. I like it when somebody will talk about somebody from history, and I'll say, Alexa, when did so-and-so die? When did Frank Sinatra die? And boom, the answer is instantly there, and even the cause of death will be listed. I don't think we could get by without our Alexas in our house. They're very handy. I use them.
I'm amazed at how well it does at sorting out. I can have the TV on pretty loud and say something to Alexa, and Alexa can sort my voice out from the TV sound.
Yes.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's great.
I think they did some work on that because some companies were slipping in the A word into like commercials, and it would trigger the echo to play something related to the commercial. They got into some trouble for that. They were doing it on purpose. So
yeah,
they probably figured out how to filter the TV noise out from the human voice.
Well, we have one that's fairly near a TV in our house, and when you see a commercial that comes on and uses the word Alexa, my Amazon Echo doesn't respond anymore to that. So
yeah, I'm sure they figured that out.
Signal that comes out, I think. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
It triggers. They don't say it on Twit. They say Andy Anako says shlomo.
Oh,
they're pretty trained themselves to not say, because every once in a while they'll forget, and all of a sudden everybody's Amazon Echo goes off.
Leo changed his machine's name from Alexa to computer.
Yeah, nobody.
So if you want to turn on the dining room lights, it's a computer. Turn on dining room lights to 45%.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough when they're having a discussion about, Alexa, the Echo.
Yeah.
And they slip and and then everybody's things goes off and the chat goes crazy.
Yeah.
You can ask Alexa for phone numbers of businesses, and she also will set up reminders to remind you to feed the cat or whatever.
And what I like, because I'm a cook and a baker, and I'll have maybe 3 or 4 different timers going at once on my Alexa, but I have to give it a title, like Alexa, set a baked potato timer for 60 minutes, or set a brownie timer for 15 minutes, and they'll run simultaneously. It's really, really slick.
Have you ever asked Alexa to sing the technology song?
Yes.
I love that little song.
Maybe nobody's heard it. Why don't you ask her?
Yeah.
Alexa, play the technology song.
Here's technology. Explicit audio.
No.
Robin Williams.
Alexa, cancel. Alexa, Alexa, cancel. That wasn't it. What for? Alexa.
Okay, next time.
Give it up, Kenji.
Technology song.
Yeah.
No. Alexa, sing the technology song.
Technology, technology. Where would I be without technology? Without the Wi-Fi, I couldn't say hi. As for music, I couldn't choose it. Shopping list would cease to exist, and time would be on your wrist. I thank my lucky stars that I'm here today. I hope that you'll agree. Give me 1, 2, 3 shouts of love for technology.
Technology.
It's a very useful device. I love it when I can say, play WQXR from Chicago or play BBC4 or find Boston Blackie on the radio. It's really useful.
Or read an Audible book.
Yeah.
Rick, you're usually a fairly suspicious guy. Don't you get a little bit nervous with Alexa listening to you all the time?
I don't order things that I don't that I don't want anybody to know about, and I'm just very careful. I don't discuss if I was a young man or something. I won't get into that, but
there's an option in the Alexa app to have them not listen to not do something like there's an app where they can have humans listening for product improvement, and you can
opt out. You can opt out of that.
You can opt out of that.
They all got into trouble. That Siri was doing that too, and you can opt out of that too.
You can delete your comments too. You can look at what Alexa heard you say, and you can delete them all.
Right.
So no, I don't worry too much about it. Jan, you have another question?
Yeah, about Alexa. One of the main thing I have trouble with is sometimes I ask it to set an alarm for a certain time in the morning, and it could make it too loud or too soft, and I don't know how to tell it to have a better volume, the right volume.
Go to your Alexa app and go to settings, and you can adjust all that stuff.
But it adjusts, then it's all sounds. I can't get it to do just the alarm.
Yeah.
You want to change the sound per alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you might be further away when you want to hear it, so. Or not.
Well, it has been
seen the Saturday Night Live?
Just the alarm, but I can't.
You wish you could say, Alexa, set an alarm for volume 3 as opposed to volume 6 or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Jan, just ask Alexa how to do it.
Google it. Ask Google. There may very well be a way to do it.
Yeah.
Can you say set the alarm at 50%?
I don't know if you can or not.
Google is your friend.
Somebody ask it. Somebody should ask it. Ask Alexa.
Yeah, ask Alexa, how do I set the alarm volume? She'll probably tell you go to the app and set the alarm.
Yeah, go to the app.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
I just unmuted myself.
Do you have the cylinder, the app, Alexa cylinder? On the top of it, there's a volume control that you can up and down.
Yeah, but I don't
want that would be in general. That would be for everything.
Quiet, Alexa.
Yeah, and on the Echo Show, there are buttons on the top of it.
Yeah.
You can use for volume, but that's a global setting. That's not an individual setting for a feature. So yeah. But I think you could drop Amazon a comment about it on their Alexa pages, and that could be something that you want. I know when I got my first one, it was a cylinder, and I was perplexed because the sound for what I was listening to was too bassy. And I wanted a means of adjusting treble and bass. So I contacted them and they said at present it doesn't exist, but we're working on it. Now it does. So they've implemented that.
Isn't there some things you can download for Alexa? What do they call them?
Skills.
Skills, yeah, you can add skills. A lot of people make them. Maybe there's something you can download and ask. There's a skill for alarm volumes.
In the Alexa app, you can set, one of the options besides volume is to set an ascending alarm where it gets louder over time. Would that do the trick for you?
Oh, that would be good.
So you didn't hear it at first and you didn't turn it off, or would just get it louder and louder until it woke you up?
Yeah, that's in settings.
Yeah, in settings in the app.
Okay. Well, I have nothing further. Oh, there's Marge Faltons. Did you get your BBS installed, Marge?
Not yet.
Oh,
I've been sort of occupied with a few things, so I'll have to get a hold of John sometime.
okay. Well, you can just go to the webpage.
I just go to bbs.com. Is that what you said?
dvmug.org and then click on BBS.
Okay, and then click on.
The directions are in the MailChimp every single week to download it. There's a link to click to download it. I'm trying to get people to use it, and every week in Sunday night's mail, you're getting that every Sunday? DVMUG News? It's in there every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wealth of information.
For me.
Not getting a lot of people to click on that. We're getting a lot of people to use the BBS. I got a question for you. People, how many of you are not using the BBS? And why not?
I have a hard time logging on to it.
Well, call me, I'll fix it. It's
Okay.
if you have a question, you don't have to wait to this meeting every week and wait for a time to speak. You can post your question and somebody will answer it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Can we put your number out, John? Can we tell them
It's in my number and my email address are in the MailChimp every single week with my picture.
Yeah.
Call me if you want to do it. If you have a
I don't know
problem.
how John got such a great number, 925-335-6789.
There you go. That's a Google Voice number.
So how do I get to you, John? DVMUG, what?
Okay. Do you get the mail every Sunday?
I do,
From
but I
DVMUG
don't.
News?
Uh-huh.
My picture's in there, my email address is in there, my phone number's in there.
And that's who I contact whenever I have a question.
About
No,
anything.
no,
About anything in the world.
No?
It says if you have a problem installing the DVMUG BBS, you can contact me or Ann and we'll get you on there, whatever it takes.
Yeah. And then
Then you can, on the BBS, you can ask a question and all these people who are logging into the BBS can answer. Ken Marks will answer your question, Rick, me, you know, there's other people who will answer your question, not just me.
Okay.
Right.
Even people across the country.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Rick, one more time. Is that Emotet? Does Malwarebytes will take that out? Is that right?
As I understand it, yes. Good old Malwarebytes. If none of you guys have got Malwarebytes, or if some of you don't have Malwarebytes on your machine, put it on. It's free. Don't sign up for the paid version. Just use the free version.
Yeah, don't pay for it. I was working on somebody's computer the other day and I noticed that they had paid for it. And I looked in the activity monitor and it's sitting there churning and running and everything you do, it's scanning everything you're doing. Not necessary.
Yeah, as with so many anti-malware and antivirus software packages, they run all the time and they will slow your machine down. But if you're the boss and you control Malwarebytes, you tell it when to scan the free version and it'll do it for you. anytime you want, and you can then lock out that piece of bad software that has gotten into your machine, put it into quarantine, get rid of it, empty the trash, and then restart the machine. Always restart after you do.
I've told this story several times. You may have heard it, but I had somebody, I'd been to their house twice. They paid me to come over to get rid of malware. And I ran Malwarebytes because they were letting their grandson or something get on there, and he was downloading bad stuff. And then the third time she came to the clinic, I said, you know, you should probably pay for Malwarebytes so it stops this kid from getting in there and putting stuff on your computer. You're the only person I ever looked at that I needed to do it 3 times. And so she did. And guess what? I haven't heard from her again. So I guess it worked.
Sydney.
How often do you suggest running Malwarebytes?
Whenever you think there's some kind of web problem.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're experiencing a problem, or if you want, do it every Friday afternoon, you know, whatever.
If you run it and you don't find anything, then you're not the kind of person that does things that gets stuff. Some people, they just do bad stuff and they get infected all the time. And if they don't, you know, if you find stuff, then you should scan it more often than not. But if you don't find anything, you're not the person that's clicking on stuff and going to bad websites and doing, you know, it's about you. You are your worst enemy.
And we're not inferring you go there intentionally. You know, you may follow one of these things that says 14. Did you know what that actress looks like today? 14 clicks, and you keep clicking. We call it clickbait. And you don't have to have an evil intention to get into a bad website.
I had somebody yesterday, one of my clients, I haven't heard from for a while, but I've been there many times over the years. She's a DVMUG member. She has an older computer and she runs Firefox, and she was reading Fox News, and it was an ad, and she clicked on the ad. It locked up her thing solid, said call Apple, and she knew that was bad. She called me. I couldn't even force quit the app. We had to push the power button and shut the computer down. And it was so bad, when we started the computer back up and she started Firefox and went back to the bad page.
Yeah.
So we had to do the trick of hold your finger on the shift key, start Firefox so it doesn't go back to the back page. So we had to hard reboot with the power button twice to get it, to fix it. And it was a Fox News ad or a link off of their page.
I have Malwarebytes run once every morning as I'm getting up. It takes like a minute and a half and it's done.
Now I'm sure that Malwarebytes is only for malware, not Trojan virus. Does that take care of viruses now?
A Trojan is not a virus.
I'm gonna just
It'll find that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure. In fact, let me look here.
You're not likely to get this thing. I don't see a lot of this kind of stuff. It's the pop-up windows and those kind of things that are the problem.
Malwarebytes says that they go after viruses. They said that malware is the most inclusive term. And Trojans, yeah.
2 questions. One is Malwarebytes available also for the iPhones?
No.
You don't need it.
You don't need any iPhone?
It does not exist. There's not a problem. You can't install software on the iPhone that doesn't come from the App Store unless you jailbreak your phone. So it doesn't have these kind of problems.
But there is an app. They do have an app for iOS. I'm not sure what it does. But
I've just looked on the web, and Malwarebytes will catch Emotech.
I just got a text message on my iPhone. It just came in, and I'll read it to you. Enter code 112471. Do not share in the form to join one queue. We pay you. Messages and data rates may apply. Blah, blah, blah.
It's probably, if you enter that code, they probably charge you money or something, one of those automatic donations. It's a ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this is some kind of scam here.
Yeah, I would delete that one. I wouldn't trust it.
I have a question. When I was on the computer, all of a sudden, somebody started talking and saying that there was a problem with my computer, and it said, "Do not hang up. Do not, delete this or whatever." And but then there was, I didn't know how to get rid of it, and then there was one little button that said "Leave," so I clicked on that.
Won't do it.
Bad idea.
Did it get you out?
Yeah,
Okay,
it did.
sometimes you got to beware, because what they want you to do, they get you to click on the leave button or stop, and that will then do something bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah,
and I
just
didn't know
quit the
how to
browser.
get rid of
The best thing to do is just quit the browser. Quit.
Yeah, just quit. Command Q.
But I ran malware bytes after that, and
Those pop-up things are not on your computer. It's the web page. Whatever you clicked on right before that happened was the bad thing, and you connected to a website that was bad, and then they take control of your browser. I haven't heard of it speaking to you, but typically it pops up and locks up and says, "Call this number. Call Apple." Blah blah blah. There's nothing on your computer.
I've had the one that speaks to you, and it gives you this horrible alarm sound.
Oh, sometimes it'll give the really nasty sound, like it's screeching at you, and it's so annoying to get you to call the number.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Not
And
speaking, though. I've
and
heard
it
it.
won't go away. You got to quit the browser to get rid of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you,
Thank you.
what do you use First Aid, Apple's First Aid, as well as malware bytes to check your computer?
First Aid does not have anything to do with malware or viruses.
No. Malware bytes is all you need.
Seems to be a rash of flash pop-ups lately.
Yeah.
Don't install Flash. You don't need it.
I haven't had it for years.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see them on Chrome. If you're using Chrome, you'll get some of them. But
You can turn it off in Chrome.
pardon me?
You can turn it off in Chrome.
And yeah, I don't use Chrome very much. I stick with Safari pretty much, or Brave.
I've been playing with Edge. It's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Not bad.
The new one's not bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't Edge use the Chromium engine?
Yes.
So Brave and Google Chrome and Edge all use the same underlying engine. It's just a different design overlay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ken, when does the light bulb come on?
Oh, it's burned out. I'm gonna have to change it. Maybe I'll go LED this time. It's actually on. It's a silent light.
I understand incandescent bulbs are going to come back.
Well, they make designer bulbs with LEDs that have the wire in them, but there's LEDs on the wire.
Yeah.
So they're called LED Edison bulbs or something like that, for because they're cool looking and people want that look.
Are you guys aware of a program with PG&E? With PG&E's energy efficiency program, they will come into your house. They will do an energy check on your appliances and on your electricity bulbs and everything, and they will change everything for you free.
That's right.
They
I
will
got
offer-
I got a box the size of a toilet paper case full of free LED bulbs that they gave me.
Yeah, they will also change your washing machine if it's old, refrigerator.
And that I haven't heard.
Yeah, they will do those things
Are
too.
you
Yeah.
sure they're still running that program?
I believe they still are.
Because
It's-
they're
it's,
must for over 60. You had to be over 65, right? You had to be on Medicare.
Yeah, there's certain
Yeah, you had to be
criteria.
over
You
65.
have to be low. You have to be low income. You have to qualify for it.
No, because I had them come to my house, and I'm not low
Yeah,
income.
I'm not low income, and they came to my house too for lights only.
Kenji, you like
Yeah,
this background better?
One of my neighbors, I'm not sure they do it anymore. One of my neighbors, they blew insulation into his ceiling. They did a lot for this guy.
Wow.
It's worth checking into.
It's worth checking into, is right.
Yeah. Ken Marks, you can use that background of yours to wipe the smirk off your face.
I think the toilet paper shortage is over. In the stores I've been in lately, there's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That
This is
PG
the leftover from all that
program.
I hoarded.
I suspect there's going to be a lot of people who want to return a bunch of toilet paper to
Right.
Costco, and they say
Now that they're going to make a bunch of it, people aren't buying it because they got stockpiles in their garage or whatever. So
The kids no longer have lemonade stands. It's toilet paper stands now.
This Halloween, you better be nice to the trick-or-treaters
There
because
you
they'll
go.
be heavily
Then-
armed with to paper your house.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have Halloween this year. Not the
Oh,
no.
traditional. They're not going to let those kids come around from house to house.
yeah, go
I
get
never
candy
thought
from
about
other
that.
people's
You're
houses.
probably-
Yeah.
I doubt
You're
it.
probably quite right on that one.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Looks
you.
like everything this year is
The house
canceled.
across the street.
Everything's canceled for the rest of the year.
Yeah, can you imagine Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Thanksgiving. I was saying that today. Thanksgiving,
So roast a chicken.
Christmas shopping, go to the mall, Christmas shopping.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But what's not canceled is the virtual version of MacFest. You guys know about that, right?
Max stock.
Mac Stock, right? Mac Stock. From 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the 25th.
What is that? What is Mac
2
Stock?
days.
Well,
What
it's
is-
actually just, but the 2-day festival is canceled, but they're having 1 day online.
Well, it's just the one day, the line's
Yeah.
only one day.
What is Mac Stock for those who don't know what it is?
Yeah.
It's kind of a mini version of Macworld.
It's little 20-minute seminars.
Ah.
And I'll post the,
Yeah. Put it on chat.
yeah, looking at.
Do they have a program printed so that you know when to log in for what you might want to see?
I
Yes.
think so. And here is the link for where you order, where you register. And let me see.
And to get people to log into the BBS, you posted it since the last meeting, so it's there. People can log into the
Okay.
BBS and find it.
Okay, and here it is too.
signed
And
up.
here it is too. And the hours for it that they list on this are Central Time, so it's 2 hours earlier. So I think it's 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. that day.
Super
How did
good.
it go with the SVMUG last night? Adam Angst and Chuck Joyner?
It was okay. And I think that the YouTube is already posted
Cool.
on svmug.org.
I'm looking at the MacStock webpage now on my iPad, and it says that there's 2 days of talks.
Right, but if you look farther on that page, it'll say canceled.
Oh,
And then it'll show the digital thing, that the virtual MacStock.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that $189 and $109, and I thought, oh, I think I'm not.
You
gonna-
gotta watch these web pages these days because the stuff was all built a long time ago and then everything's canceled. Sometimes they just post a little notice canceled and all the prices and dates and times will still be there even though the thing isn't even happening anymore.
When you go to register for Max stock, it actually comes out to 0.
Right, it's 0. If you click that link that's in the chat now, it'll take you right to the registration page.
The registration shows 0.
Yep.
Cool. That's going to be the 25th, huh?
Right.
Okay.
This Saturday, I believe, right?
Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hope
All
it rains.
Contractors are coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't have anything else for the meeting, and I got time. We can stick around if you want, but I don't have anything else. Any thoughts?
Another good one. Thank you.
Yeah, Vern. Yeah.
That was a good one. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
play with that
Bye-bye.
dictionary. Play with the dictionary.
Looks good. Thanks again.
Wave bye to the folks. Say bye-bye, YouTube. We're going to stop the
Bye-bye.
recording. See you
Bye-bye.
next week, same time. Okay.
Thank you.